Hi, I'm Sid, CEO of Sentrana.
And I'm Mike, CEO of Origent Data Sciences, and we want to tell you today the story of how a precision sales and marketing firm came to join in the fight against ALS.
At Sentrana, we reduce the time, cost, and effort to get to the sales and marketing insights you need to drive growth and profitability. Our team of mathematicians, engineers, and marketing scientists build technology that empower sales and marketing professionals to pinpoint growth opportunities and take precise actions. The impact of these techniques are broad and powerful, enough to apply across many fields. Medicine and healthcare are two such applications.
When our friend Kevin was diagnosed with ALS, we asked ourselves, in the face of this terrible disease, is there anything that we could do to really help? And it turned out there was. Now, many people know that ALS is a terminal illness, and many people also know that the life expectancy of an ALS patient after diagnosis may be 3 to 5 years. But what many people don't know about ALS is that ALS progresses very differently across different patients. Some patients may only survive for a few months after diagnosis, while other patients may live for years or even decades. I think two of the most prominent examples of ALS patients are Lou Gehrig and Stephen Hawking. And Lou Gehrig passed away only 2 years after his diagnosis, but Stephen Hawking has been living with ALS for several decades. And it's not because Stephen Hawking is getting some sort of superior scientific treatment. It's just the way that ALS manifests. So unfortunately, this diversity creates huge problems for the pharmaceutical companies who are trying to develop cures for ALS. Greater challenges than you have in other diseases, in fact, because when you have a disease that progresses so heterogeneously, it's hard to measure whether or not your drug is having a desired effect on a patient, because that patient may have survived for a long time anyway. And what this means is that you have to run very large, very expensive clinical trials, which drives up the risk. And it's a big part of the reason why in the last almost 20 years there have been no new drugs approved for ALS. And in that same period of time, there have been over 30 drugs that have failed in late-stage clinical trials. So, what's the solution? Well, imagine that you could look at all of the information you had about a particular ALS patient, and then you could accurately predict how each individual patient's disease would progress for, say, months into the future. Then imagine you could use that information to enroll patients into a clinical trial who are all expected to progress along a similar path. Well, now, if you give some of those patients a new drug, the difference in that group should be very obvious from the rest of the group. And what that means is you can run smaller, faster, cheaper clinical trials and bring down that economic risk of failure, which then brings more pharmaceutical companies to come focus on ALS. And that's what we wanted to do.
Right, and so this is why we turned our tools to predict patient progression for ALS. Our predictive insights were so groundbreaking that we spawned a new company called Origent to focus on health, so Sentrana can continue to focus on sales and marketing.
Right, so at Origent, we're building patient-level predictive models for multiple diseases, including ALS, Alzheimer's, cancers. We're developing software tools to help enroll patients into clinical trial populations more efficiently. We're constructing perfectly comparable virtual control arms for early-stage trials that don't have placebo arms. This is providing better early information so that pharma companies can identify and focus their resources on the most promising therapies. And we're developing clinical treatment tools to help physicians better treat their patients who are living with ALS. And all the technologies that allow us to do this better and faster than others have been able to do are the same underlying technologies that Sentrana has been using for precision sales and marketing, only instead of developing predictive models to predict economic behavior, we're developing predictive models of disease behavior for individual patients.
That's right, and so this is one of the ways that Sentrana is taking its technologies to new and diverse fields and problems. And we see this as a first step toward empowering the world to find game-changing insights on their own.
And since we're talking about ALS today, I think it's time for us to go do a little ice bucketing. You ready?
Yes, let's do it. Hi, we're Sentrana. These are the marketing scientists, engineers that power our platform and help our clients get to insight faster and cheaper than ever before.
And we're Origent. These are some of the biostatisticians and predictive modeling experts who are building powerful applications designed to help pharmaceutical companies make better therapies for ALS and improve care for patients living with ALS today. Let's get the ice.
Go. Oh, here we go.
3, 2, 1!
And to find ways that you can help battle this terrible disease.
We specifically extend this ALS challenge to the following individuals: Dr. Rennie Griffith, Dr. Satinder Gill, Dr. Salman Mufti, Andrew Reamer, and Fabian Rosado. You've got 24 hours to make a donation to an ALS charity or to put a bucket of ice on your head. To donate to this important cause, 2 organizations you should consider are Prize for Life and the Life Story Foundation. Thank you.